All right, so now we're looking at some graphs here. We're going to try to find the average rate of change from the graph. So I'm going to show you kind of the way I like to do these. If I have a graph, it is pretty simple because I'm hoping you remember from 8th grade, 7th grade, rise over run. This is the same thing as your change in y over your change in x. That's because your y coordinate goes up and down, so your rise and your run goes left to right. So rise over run will give you your average rate of change. So all I need to do is find the points given and calculate my rise over run. So in this first one, I'm going from -6 to 2. So what I'm going to do, I see x is -6 right here. So if I go down to my line, I'm going to put a point there, okay? So there's my first start. And let's see, x is 2 right here. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to put a dot right there, okay, right above my 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create what you may have heard called a stair step. Just draw it. So let's see. Now, all I need to do here is count out what is my rise over run. So let's see, this was at -8, and I went up to +8. So see, -8 to 0 is 8. 0 to 8 is another 8. So that's going to be, I went up 16. And then for my run, I'm just going to see how far did I go across here. So let's see, that's going to be, we started at -6. We ended at +2. -6 to +2 is I went up 8. So my rise is 16. My run is 8. So 16 over 8 gives me an average rate of change of 2. All right, so let's look at this next one. This one looks a little funny. We probably haven't seen many graphs that look like this. This is what we learned about the last time. This is what we call a quadratic function, okay? Just want to keep throwing that word at you because you are going to see that a lot come October. And it does have that parabolic shape, or a parabola is what we call that. The U shape, a lot of you say. That's all right. So we want to go from x is -1 to 1, so here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a point. Let's see, at -1, I'm going to go up to my graph right there. Right, x is -1 right there. And at x is 1, I'm right here. And again, I'm just going to draw my stair step, okay? Let's see, that's going to be... All right, so let's start with my run this time. Let's see, I went from -1 to 1 here. So that's going to be, and I went to the right, so that's going to be +2. And then for my rise, let's see, I was at +4, and I went down to 0. So that's -4. So here's my rise, -4. My run is 2, so I'm going to put -4 over 2. That's going to give me a average rate of change of -2. All right, last one. So this is an example of another different function we talked about. This is called an exponential function. It's what you want your bank account to do. Notice it gets really, really big really fast. So here we are going from x equals 2 to x equals 3. So x is 2, x is 3. I'm going to put my dots in there. Let's see. At 2, if I go up to my function, I'm at 4, it looks like, yeah. At 3, looks like I'm at 8. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to draw my little stair step. This one may be a little tricky to get in here. There we go. All right, so let's see. I'll start with my rise this time. I was at 4, and I went to 8. That is +4, right? And then I went to the right 1. So my rise was 4. My run was 1. That's going to give me 4 divided by 1 is 4. All right, great job, guys. I'll see you in the next lesson.